Good morning, hi, my name is Gloria and welcome to my YouTube channel. We're trying out a little bit of a different setup today. I'm trying to film on our iPad instead of my phone. Putting in a tissue box clearly did not work. So we're going to try a little bit of a different setup and see how this works for us. So today, thank you for coming again. We're going to be looking through my recent haul of Briggs and Little yarn from Wool Trends. So I started seeing Wool Trends on Facebook and Instagram. They seem to have a really good deal on Briggs and Little, so I thought I would place a big order and see how it goes. So Briggs and Little is a Canadian-owned, I guess, full-service woolery? I don't know, yarn producer. I can put the link in below for like their Wikipedia page and their actual main website. But I have used their yarn before. It's a very rustic wool. I think it's also produced, spun, and dyed here in Canada, so definitely trying to buy more Canadian makers and local business this year. So I thought I would just go ahead and get a bunch of colors to see how they all look together, because sometimes when you look on the screen, you're not sure how it's going to look in real life. So let's see how they go. So I've already opened my box, as you can tell, and I've already started balling up some of the yarns. So they do come in hanks, so if you can see, obviously here, they do appear in hanks. And I've already hand wound them into balls for easier use. I do have a cake winder as well, but I find that because it's a little bit more rustic, I did it slowly by hand, so as I'm like going through the yarn, I can actually pick out a bit of this, like there's sometimes like a bit of like grass debris or like undyed pieces, so I like to pick them out by hand. It makes the knitting experience a little bit better. There's less stuff to pick out while you're knitting, or after the fact when you're blocking and washing your finished object. So yeah, you can even see here, you can't see right now actually because the camera's pretty far away, but I just picked out this super tiny piece of grass. I'll just put it to the side for now, from these balls of yarn, but the color is excellent. Otherwise, it's very good to work with. So let me just talk about, I think I got three main types. And let's see, how should we start with this? I guess I'll go through what the colors are and the yarns as we go. So I'll just start with these two since I've already wound them. This color is called Silver Gray, Grey. It's hand washed with mild soap and lukewarm water. It's their heritage yarn. So it's a 2-ply, 100% pure wool. You get 4 ounces or 113 grams. So pretty much your standard like weight for hank plus a little bit. And it's a product of Canada, of course. It says it's heritage 2-ply, 215 yards or 196 meters. And it says 17 stitches is 4 inches. So they recommend a 5mm knitting needle. And this one is color 17, lot 244. The Silver Gray is like the easy name to remember. So that's nice. So it's 100% wool. It's a bit rustic. So like some people say they don't like the wool on their skin, or they use it for like a sweater that you wear something underneath, maybe not so much for like a scarf or a cowl. And some people don't mind as much. Some people don't mind once it's been washed, it's been a little bit treated and relaxed a bit. So you can definitely see it is. So as I mentioned, the rustic part of it, it's not as smooth as maybe some of your like super wash, merino, like hand-dyed yarn. Obviously it's a different type of wool. I don't think this is merino wool. It's a different type of wool, maybe like Corriedale or some blend. If you happen to know, drop a comment down below. So here, I don't know if you can even see this, but I can separate this easily into 2 plies. Okay, maybe I can't do it so easily. So here I kind of got 2 plies off the end of it. And another nice thing about 100% wool is that if you're joining colors or joining another ball of the same color, you can do a spit splice. So you basically like cut off one of the strands, you spit on it, just kind of gross. That's why you wash and block afterwards, and then you just like add a lot of friction to the ends of it, and the wool, like properties of the wool, because it has like different, like I don't know, mini strands of it, I guess, different staples, and then it will just meld together as if it was one whole piece of yarn. So that's actually really cool, really amazing quality of wool yarn. So yeah, this is also wool. This is also fully wool, and this is the navy blue, same Heritage brand. So let me show you the other, let's see if I can pull out some of the other Heritage colors. So this is like, this one is called Midnight Blue, and it's more of a heathered. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like, it's not a full blue color. There's like to me, when I see it in like natural light, there's bits of gray. It's more of a dark blue heathered. So this is Midnight Blue and Navy Blue, so you can kind of see a bit of the difference between this. This is a little bit more black than this one is a bit more blue. Let's see what other Heritage colors. We have this one. This is Teal Blue. So this is still a big contrast. It's all the family of blues. Let's see. This is, oh, it turns out I got 4 types. Maybe I should have pre-sorted this. We'll come back to these. I'll just start sorting as we go. So organized. This is just Scarlet. This is Scarlet, so it's pretty bright. This one. So the other reason I got one of each color pretty much was like if I'm planning a color work sweater, you know, sometimes you need different colors of each one, but you only need a little bit of each one. So I was like, well, why don't I get one of each color? I can kind of see how it looks all together as one, and then kind of plan around that versus buying a sweater quantity of one and then not sure if I like color and things like that or how they work with each other. This one is, oh, this is Regal. Sorry, we'll come back to this one. See by the yellow tags, I'm trying to like sort it very quickly. I don't even know how oh, this is another Heritage. This one is Royal Blue. So it's actually somewhere in between, like it's bright like this red one, but it's a blue. So it's really interesting. Like I would pair these two together. Maybe these two, but it kind of like clashes a bit more. This one could be a really good like a contrasting color, but contrasting complementary. And I probably would not pair these two together. So this one like speaks more to me with this red, but it's also very like American, a little too bright. So I don't know. I'll put it here for now. Oh, and it can also go with gray because everything goes with gray. Let's see. This is more Heritage. So this is silver gray, and this one that I'm now holding that's not wound is called medium gray. So this one is more of a Jersey heather. Like for me, when I think like gray sweatpants or like gym clothes, this is kind of more of that gray, and this is like a unicolor, not heathered gray. So obviously this one, these two like go really well together. This is like very rustic heathered look. These ones, yeah, sure, it could go together. Why not? Because gray goes with a lot of things. This one, if I put it with the red, I don't know why I bought this red. This is such fire engine red. This is nice too, like together, but I think to me this reads a bit more of like school spirit colors. And then this one is not bad either. This is this gray one with this royal blue. So I'll put it with the gray. Let's see what else we got. This is another Heritage. This is mauve. Let's see. I think I was thinking of a lot, like I do love purple. I think I got a lot of blue tones for some reason, which is good too. This one is nice. It does go with gray, so I'm like not really worried about it. Yeah, I'm not, maybe I have more purple in here, but I'm not sure if these necessarily like scream complementary. This one's actually not bad. This purple and this blue is good. Maybe this one is quite nice too. It brings out the darkness of the midnight blue a little bit more. Yeah, I would see it with this navy blue too. It's like very matching the depth of that jewel tone. And I will say like the color saturation for these skeins are like excellent. Like sometimes when you find like very natural yarns, they just like to stay in the natural color palette. So you get a lot of like browns, you get grays, you get beige, you get a lot of different whites. But I'm really glad that they took the time to dye actually so many colors for these yarns. So very excited. Okay, this one is Peacock. Let's see if I can pull out a few more. Okay, I'm just emptying this first bag. And this one. Okay, so these are all Heritage yarns. Amazing. This one I'm going to mention is Peacock. I think I've used these two before, or I've gotten them, I think. And I thought it would be like a very contrasting color. It's not bad. They are a little bit too close now that I kind of see them compared to all these other options. This one might be actually pretty good with this really dark bright blue, and then as well as this red. It just seems like they are bold enough that they can match each other's boldness. So I don't hate it. If it was something like if you want color work and you want enough distinction between the different colors to show off like the actual color work, something to consider is like maybe you should pick a color that you normally wouldn't pick. A couple colors I did not buy, as you can tell from this overall color palette so far. I did not buy like any yellows, greens, orange, white. I probably should have bought a bit of white or beige just to see like how that white looks stacked against some of these other ones. And white also kind of goes well with a lot of different colors for contrast colors. Okay, other colors I haven't talked about yet. Blue heather. This one kind of looks like this one, which I'll get to. That's a different line, so I want to stick to heritage first. So this blue heather, oops, I was like, this is navy blue. No, the navy blue goes with that one. Blue heather, and this one goes in mauve, light purple. It's not bad together. And I also have this one, which I believe is lilac. So I really like this one. Now that I see it in person, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So this is like a very purple. So if you look at, sorry, I keep jumping back and forth. This mauve one is like all mauve, no variation, just one color. This lilac, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it has like, it's not just one color. I see like bits of blue, bits of pink, bits of like very pale purple. It's more of a variegated yarn in person. And I really like it. It's like a heathered purple versus like a single color purple tonal. So this is still a tonal, but it's also like screaming a lot of variegated. And like for that reason, I almost want to pair it more with like another blue to like kind of bring it out. Maybe not this one, maybe this one. This one. Yeah, this one looks really good to me. There's like a little flecks of blue in here, and I feel like pairing it with another blue will like really bring it out. As well, obviously, it could go with gray, it could go with another purple. Maybe not this purple, it's a bit too, well, maybe it could be. I was gonna say it's like kind of clashes, but because this is a variegated yarn, I feel like it could really work. I'll put that one aside for now. This one is dark maroon. So I don't know if it's maroon purple, it's maroon red. It's kind of in between, but it's not magenta. This one is also like, to me, this color would be like burgundy almost, but it does say dark maroon. I do love this color too. I think it would pair well with these like really deep jewel tones, like maybe the navy blue, or definitely this midnight blue. Like, wow, you get like this smoky gray blue, and then you get this maroon color, which is like a really dark purple. So it's super nice. Definitely good for color work. I find like maroon is used a lot. So it's a good color on everybody. Finally, this last heritage one is called Blue Heather. So if you kind of look at this one with the lilac, you see this one is also kind of a slightly variegated. You see light blue, you see dark blue, you see a bit of gray. And so this one is also very gorgeous. And I think it would pair out well with a lot of blues, even though earlier we said like maybe some of the blues would like kind of clash with each other. Maybe this one's still too bright. It could be, I think it could work. I think it could work. You let me know if you think otherwise. But this heathered blue, I think I would definitely order a lot more of this for like, you know, cabled sweater when you want a bit of variation, but you don't want too much, you won't want too much of a variegated yarn in case there's like color pooling and it takes away from like the look and feel of cables. So this one I think would be really nice if it wasn't going to use for color work. And again, this lilac, oh my goodness, I think I would definitely order a sweater quantity of these. So as I mentioned, Wool Trends is, I think it's a yarn store out east. That's where it says it's shipped from. So they have a lot of ads on Facebook. I don't know if you want to look it up. If you look it up, you'll definitely get more ads on Facebook. For me, they said flat rate Canadian shipping was free. So after $79, which obviously I think I spent over $79. I think I spent like twice that. It's free shipping. And let's see. And if you buy 10 skeins or more of any of these, like any Briggs and Little combined, you get another 10% off. So it was like a really good deal. So for all the heritage yarn, oh, it actually doesn't say. Okay, if I remember correctly, the heritage yarn was only $5.50 Canadian each. So one of these is $5.50, which is like, if you think about it, kind of a really good deal for over 100 grams of yarn, 100% wool. So you get $5.50, you get 10% off if you buy 10 skeins. I mean, I pretty much bought 10 skeins of just heritage. So say that's like $5-ish. You pay tax, maybe it goes back up to $5.50 and change. Or $5.65, and then if you buy enough, you get free shipping. So honestly, this was like a great deal overall. So anyways, I've talked about heritage yarn, so I'm just gonna like try and push this to the side. I don't know if it's still in the camera view. That's okay. I have no feedback on how the recording is going. And yeah, so I have more yarn here. Let's open her up. Okay, I think this might all be the same. Oh, this is more heritage. Sorry. I'll talk about this one. This is called Mulberry. This is kind of similar to lilac in that it's a variegated yarn. Sorry, I should have really like this unboxing video is really chaotic. Okay, I think that's the last heritage yarn. This one is called Mulberry. It's another variegated tonal. This one has like specks of, I think, blue and gray and like little bits of lighter purple inside. So it's not a single tone. So this one was also go well with this. This one is the, oh shoot, I already forgot. Midnight Blue. Gray is obviously this one. I don't know if I would pair together. It's a little bit too close for me. I feel like you might not get as much of a pop with that variegation. You want to put it with something like slightly different. Maybe this one even. This one is the teal blue. So because it does have a bit of blue in this mulberry color, so you want to like put it together. So anyways, I hope you get inspired by just a few of these color combinations that I've shown you so far. Okay, actually this is very poor planning. I'm just gonna put it to this side. Sorry about that. We're getting used to it. Okay, so then it turns out I only ordered 3 of this yarn. So this yarn is called Regal. This is a 2-ply, again, 100% pure wool, 4 ounces, 113 grams, product of Canada. Let's see, what's the difference? Hand wash in mild soap and lukewarm water. This one is 2-ply, but it's 272 yards, and this one is 215 yards. So you get a bit more yardage in this one, or 248 meters, 272 yards. 20 stitches is 4 inches, so it's like slightly thinner. 20 stitches to 4 inches on 4.5 inch or 4.5 millimeter needles. 4.5 inch needles would be like insanely huge. Again, it's also from Canada. So this one I got, this one is the lilac color, so it's actually very close to the original lilac. I don't know if you can see it. They're both a little bit variegated. You get blue, you get white, you get pink, you get purple. So I really love this lilac color. And then I also got blue BW. I don't remember what BW stands for. Maybe that's just the name of it, blue BW. So these are both, this is blue and then this one is turquoise. So all these 3 are like very heathered shades. Oh, they look so good together. The yardage is a bit higher. I wouldn't say it's DK weight, but it might be like a light worsted or a sport weight. So I think maybe for like a size small sweater, an extra small sweater, you probably could get away with just 3 skeins. I think I have done it, but it might be a little bit risky. You might want to just buy another skein. So definitely this yarn is still very rustic. This turquoise is like a lot of blue, green, light blues, light greens. This is gorgeous. And this one, blue BW, is also just like shades of white and blue all like dyed together. So maybe it's a different dyeing technique. Maybe they dye the strands separately and then when they wind it, it gets to this more like heathered look. So I really love this. I think I'm gonna buy more. I don't know why I didn't buy more of it. I think potentially I didn't because the color palette is not as extensive as Heritage. So that's something to think about if you don't have enough contrasting colors. Like this one, these 3 together may not work too well for color work because there's not enough contrast between the colors to like really distinguish the stitches. But if you're thinking like a color block sweater or some sort of brioche project where you want a bit of complementary colors together, then that might work better for you. So something to think about when you're choosing your yarns. So again, this one is the Briggs and Little Regal yarn. So I'll put them over here on top. This chaos. Okay, and then I think I only have 3 skeins of these as well. This is Briggs and Little Atlantic. So this one is 3-ply, 100% pure wool, 4 ounces, 113 grams. This color, or hand wash with mild soap in lukewarm water. This is 3 ply, 135 yards, 123 meters, 14 stitches is 4 inches on 6mm needles, knitting needles, I assume. I was gonna say something else. Okay, wait, I forgot to say, I think the price for these ones is also, if I remember correctly, should be $5.50, like original price. And then you have, again, the 10% off, free shipping, so not a bad price for 100% wool yarn. Okay, this one, I think if I remember correctly, this one was $6. Woo, so expensive. But it's the same $6 for 100% wool yarn. So I'll talk about the colors. This one's dark maroon. This one is your standard like single color yarn. I like this dark maroon. I think I bought another dark maroon. Let's see how they compare. Yeah, so the color is pretty much spot on. I guess this is like a bulky weight version of this one. This one's more of a worsted or a rand version. So it depends. I wouldn't use necessarily a bulky weight for a sweater personally. I think it'd be too warm. It'd be very heavy. By the time you need enough yardage, you need probably like 7 or 8 skeins of yarn. But I think I bought it because I'm trying to think ahead for the Christmas gifts, so I might turn out a few hats. Obviously, it's very quick with bulky weight yarn, so something to think about when you're buying as well, at least that I do. This one is Mulberry. So this Mulberry is the same as this one, same color. Yeah, they look pretty similar. They're both the heathered look with like blue, dark purple, a bit of lighter colors in there. I really like it. I really like this Mulberry color. And I think I like the heathered more than some of the solid colors, but sometimes you need both. And this one is gray heather, even though, okay, it says gray heather, but honestly, I would have called this green heather. This is the blue heather. This is gray. This is gray. I don't know if you can believe it, but this is gray and the bottom one is blue. I'm gonna call it green heather because I think it should really be green heather. They look really good together. Not gonna lie, but yeah, maybe it's just a misnomer. There is specks of gray in here. It's specks of gray, green, blue. It's really gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of like an ocean color, if anything, like these two together. So yeah, I can't wait to make some hats out of these, maybe some cabled hats, maybe some two-tone hats. These ones would go good together. I think if I was making some sort of brioche hat, it's very subtle, the subtle differences. So something to think about, especially like afterwards when I start making some projects, then you're like, oh, I have scraps, and then you can start getting more creative with like, how do I put these scraps together to make something new? So that's great. Another thing I didn't mention about wool yarn is that because these are 100% wool, non-superwash, which means that yes, if you wash it in the machine, your item will felt and it will shrink. But you can actually knit something and felt it on purpose. And these yarns would be really good candidates for that because the yarn is a lot cheaper. When you felt, you need to make a bigger piece so that when it shrinks, it's the piece, the size that you want. And so, yes. And then the other thing is sometimes for color work, knitters prefer to knit color work only. So you only work on the right side versus going back and forth in rows. But then if you want to make a cardigan, cardigans, with the way the construction works, normally you have to go back and forth or like around your back, right? As if you were wearing the cardigan. So there's a method called steeking where you actually knit your whole cardigan in the round and then basically you cut it open as if you were putting your button band in or your opening. And because of properties of non-superwash wool, the wool actually like binds together with itself. And so the cardigan doesn't unravel, which is quite amazing if you think about it. There's lots of YouTube videos on it. I recommend you check it out if you're interested. But yeah, this yarn would be amazing candidates for steeking and for wool felting and things like that because it's a great deal. Comes in lots of colors as you can see. And yeah, it's very rustic. Gives you that, I guess Canadian vibe, sweater vibe for our winters. Okay, the last category, if I remember correctly, the last category is called Briggs and Little Sport Yarn. Okay, so this is 1 ply yarn, 100% pure wool, 4 ounces, 113 grams. Hand wash with mild soap and lukewarm water. This color is specifically dark gray, and I have a couple more colors to show you. This is a Sport 1 ply, 430 yards or 393 meters, 24 stitches to 4 inches on 3mm needles. So hopefully you can see, but yes, this yarn is a lot thinner. It's a lot thinner than the other yarns I've already showed you. Again, great for color work, because sometimes for sweaters, when you have color work, you're carrying other strands of colors behind your work, so you're really already double holding the yarn in a sense. Like the sweater will be double the thickness than a regular strand of yarn. So some people do prefer like a fingering weight. This is a fingering weight to me, not a sport weight. I don't know why. Well, I don't even know what sport weight is. Is a DK or fingering weight yarn, single ply. So you could use it for socks. I'm not sure if I would, because a single ply, it's kind of like, if there's fewer plies, I feel like it's not as sturdy as like a 4-ply sock yarn, for example, because once one ply wears through, basically your sock can start unraveling. Now, because this is non-superwash wool, maybe it wouldn't be that easy to unravel, because a lot of the fibers, again, they stick together while you're knitting. So it could be a very durable and sturdy sock. But you know, it's all personal preference. Another thing is this yarn is pretty rustic. Like there is a bit of debris here and there. Like I just got a piece here. Some people may have more sensitivities on their feet, so they want a really soft sock yarn that they can also machine wash potentially. This would not be that yarn for you. But anyways, I thought I would order some and try it out. Maybe I'll make some house socks or something like that. So let me just grab everything, and then you can see it all before I talk about the colors. All right, so it looks like I ordered every single shade of gray. Typical. Okay, let's go through them again. This one is dark gray, which I was just showing you, I think. This one is medium gray, and then this one is silver gray. So this silver gray looks like it's the same color as this one. This one is the one I already balled up. I showed you in like the beginning with 2 plies, and then this is just single ply. Yeah, so the color is the same. Maybe it depends on the lighting, it depends on the dye lot, but there are like minor discrepancies in my 2 skeins, but close enough that maybe if you alternate skeins in a project, you could probably just get away with using it. But I meant, this is 2 ply, this is 1 ply. You probably wouldn't use it in the same project just because of the yarn weights. This is the medium gray. This one is a very heathered look. And then this one is dark gray, also very heather, so you can see like some variations in color in these 2. Well, hopefully you can see it. And this one is just like solid color gray, silver gray. I think, okay, no, I thought I ordered a light gray, but maybe they don't have light gray, which is fine. So they have a lot of colors for gray. Let's see, this one is probably the gray heather again that we saw. So this is the other gray heather in Atlantic. So yes, they are pretty much spot on in terms of how they are dyed. They look exactly the same to me because it's variegated, so it's harder to kind of tell if there are differences in dye lot to me compared to like the single color. So again, gorgeous. This one is gray/green heather. This one I believe is peacock. So peacock looks like this one, this heritage yarn. I think to me in this natural lighting, like in person, this one looks a bit more blue and this one has a bit more green undertones, but again, very similar, very pretty. This is, yeah, it's very bright, it's a very happy color. And then this last one here is blue heather. So blue heather I also bought in this color. I would say it's fairly close. This one is a bit more blue and this one is a bit more gray. But I mean, they're both obviously still blue heather, and yeah, I think they look great together. So in terms of color combinations, again, blue and gray, green heather, amazing together. Gray goes with everything. Whoops. Like all this whole color pattern is like very moody, muted gray. These 2 might go together very well as single tonals. So we'll see. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with all of this yarn yet. I talk about color work a lot, but I'm actually still learning color work, but that's okay. Even sometimes for hats and maybe some mittens, I might make some mittens as gifts, and so you can do some color work in mittens. Some people have told me that like actually sometimes when you think of like bulky yarn mittens, they're not as warm as like a fingering weight mitten, just because I think the stitch gauge is much closer together on a fingering weight mitten than on the bulky mittens, and your stitches are much like bigger and wider. There's like more room for like air and wind to come through your mittens. So it's actually warmer to go with a fingering weight mitten, even though the material is a bit thinner. Something to think about. I think Briggs and Little has a book. I don't know if they've officially sponsored it, but it's like saltwater knitting classics. There's a one or two volumes of it. So I haven't personally checked it out, but I know my local yarn store sells it. And it's a great book for those who are interested in trying color work from mittens. So you don't have to commit to a whole sweater. Hats are also really good for color work testing, so it's a good practice. Let's see. For wrapping up, I forgot to mention that I'm wearing my Lumi sweater by the designer called, I think her name is, or her like Instagram name is Originally Lovely. And I got this as a kit online brand. It uses about 4 skeins of their Feels Like Butter yarn, which is like 100% polyester. And then each of those skeins was 100 grams. It's about a worsted or a rand weight. And I think I bought the kit. It was on sale at Line Brand. You can also find their yarn probably in the US. You could probably find it in most of your yarn stores. In Canada, I believe you can buy it on Lovecrafts. I don't think I've seen it at Michael's. So definitely check it out. I thought it was a really interesting sweater. In terms of construction, this is a top-down yoke where you're increasing evenly, and the actual entire sweater is knit inside out. So for this part where it looks like a bunch of pearls, it's actually, when you knit it, it's in stockinette on the right side, and then just to wear it, you inside it out, and then you wear it like this. So it's very interesting to make. I don't think I have another sweater that looks like this. Overall, I did enjoy knitting the pattern. If I had to make modifications, I think I would change the sleeves a little bit. I find them a little bit too loosey-goosey here, and I'd probably go a little bit longer, or potentially I would actually make them short sleeve. I haven't decided how I like this sweater yet, but overall I thought it was a really interesting knit. It's cool to see how the lace turns out inside out because you're knitting it, so you do a lot of like pearls instead of knits. So definitely, if you're interested in like lace knitting, and you're starting to do sweaters, I recommend you check out this pattern. I believe it's also free on their website. So if you want to try it in another worsted weight yarn, I'd say why not? You can go for it. You could actually try it. I think these are approximately worsted weight. Maybe you could try it in this, like the Heritage or Atlantic yarns. So something to think about. Anyways, I will probably try to link the website for Wool Trends down below, and let me know if you have any questions or other comments. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great week, and yeah, see you later. Bye.